Welcome to András for an online lesson on Zoom for Crescendo. And, I am Dag, and I'm in Norway, and András, you are in Budapest. Or... Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, your age, and which pieces you are going to play?
I'm András. I'm 19 years old. I study at the Liszt Academy of Music.
Thank you. Thank you. A very good opening. I feel how much more can you take freedom? How much more can you really relax into the calmness and the grandness and the bigness of this theme? Where can you really feel that you take time? Where can you feel that you breathe big, long, deep breaths? See how outrageous you can be, yeah? Because I believe you what you're doing, and so you can do so much more, yeah? How extreme can you be? Just to see what's possible. Bravo. Yes. Bravo. I think you will find the places yourself where to insert more control on just between one note to the next. Yeah. And I think it sounds clearer in these few places, and you can work on speeding that up into the tempo that you used to have as well. Yeah. I feel. So it's just a question of articulation and ping, just on a few places, otherwise this is totally amazing. If we think that you have a very strong sense of melody, a vocal line going, just try to play that one vocal line and keep a very strong sharp con pulse underneath it without breaking the chord. Just play it once as an etude. Yes, and you do that. Only one line. Yes, and now you can do it with the chords. And what you just played was a beautiful phrase, and I think it was a beautiful shaping of how I would like it to sound, and I think you'd like it too. And now you have to fit the chords into this. So you need to have the same sense of calmness and richness, which means don't hurry. Yeah. Let's hear it. Yeah? Big, round, broken chords, but in the chaconne rhythm. Yes. Okay. Not the best bowing, maybe, but but that's starting to sound very rich and very calm and very majestic. But do you notice that once we get a sense of the structure, and once we get a sense of the singing line together with the pulse of the chaconne, then the grandeur and the size of the majesticness of itself takes care of itself. Yeah, we sort of deal with these musical structural concepts, and then it sort of frees the music. Yeah, it becomes what it's meant to be in a sense. Yeah, we'll help it, because if you play every note as it's equally as anyone else, then it becomes a little bit boring. If you play so if you emphasize downbeat and second beat, downbeat and second beat in every bar. So do it just like do that once. Just playing the first and second beat. Dum, dum. Okay. Once again, even calmer. Yeah. Don't trace ahead. Just dum bum ba da, da, da. Yeah. So play slower in the same tempo. You understand? Hold the tempo back a little bit. Dum bim ba da da da. Bum bim ba da da. Go ahead. And this sounds a little bit mannered and like an etude, an exercise, but I think if you do it a couple of times just to get the sense of this, then you can start to play around with it and phrase it and make waves and up and down and everything. But you need to have this feeling of this structure first, I think.
Hi, Berta, nice to have you here. Welcome everybody in the Crescendo office. Today is a Viola online session with Dinu SERFEZI and with our wonderful student, Berta ITTZÉS. Enjoy.
Good. It's much, much better, much more natural sounding when you do like this. When you are coming to this part, it's a little bit of shortness in the 18s. I see in the notes there are no points and even legato. So if you can just have the thought of the phrase in front of you and not cut it too much. Can you please begin from the repetition, second part? Yes, like that. Yes, it was much better, but still I see that you are thinking points on notes. Staccato, I think. So if you just forget about points and play you see, everything legato, not you understand the difference? That's what I hear you do. So no points, just the second part, ending of the second part, the second volta. How was you thinking melodically? You can show me. Play, show me. Yes, not bad, not bad. I'm thinking maybe a little separation between the phrases. You see, after this long legato, as you have here, this tone is an ending. Then another ending and another beginning. So a little separation is not wrong, especially when you come here. These very separate three elements, small elements, yeah? The general idea is very legato, but in between the phrase or in interior of the phrase, you can do small breaks. So it's not so even, everything.
Okay.
Can you try a little? Okay, Berta, it was not bad. It was not bad. Just be careful when you are coming here. This G, it's getting a little too much accent. So just be careful. Take it easily in the beginning, okay? Yes, much better. So one more thing, when you're coming, you have a little to rush into the bottom, you know? No. Take a little time, because this whole phrase is telling the listener, now the end is coming.
Okay.
So you prepare the listener for the last tone, which means peace. It's just that. No? This is the end of a very, very loaded music from the beginning to the end. But this last phrase is very important. It's going down and down and down and down until to the last tone, which is just a long, simple G.
Okay. Let's see if the sound settings are okay, and then we can get this to work. All right. So you play on what you hear. I'm just going to keep going with this. Okay. So it'll be something like 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Da. Breathe. Breathe and up to the next one. Okay, right. So we're starting on a G. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play. Okay. And that's quite difficult to do. Yeah, because your face isn't used to doing that. And so these muscles around here, they're what we call the depressors. you remember I showed you the anatomy? Yeah, we have the depressors and the mentalis, right? And those muscles are the ones that give some tension, more tension and more stability to the bottom lip. So the bottom lip won't go, it'll go do. So the embouchure works in a balanced way then. You try that again, please. Well played. Well done. Okay. Okay. All right. Well played. All right. Careful. So you've got to guide the listener through all of this meandering, so-called meandering, until it comes back to the home key.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to talk about rhythm in a minute, but let's do now. Could you play the second section once again, and we have a little bit more of that in mind. That you've actually got to show these key changes. You've got a guide. It's like you've got somebody holding your hand.
Mm-hmm.
You're holding their hand and leading them through the music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All second section.
All of the second section, please. Yeah. And here we are. Here we've reached. So you've actually got to say, it's okay, we're back to safety. We're back to the home key. Okay, now there's one thing that you did really nicely on that page. On the second line, you really showed the sequence really well. Okay, that's a very common Baroque compositional technique. to have the same little thing either just falling or rising. And in this piece, Bach does both. Here he does it falling. Okay, so there we've got this little statement and then a sort of reiteration slightly lower, and then he says something else. He develops that, which becomes the reintroduction of the main tune. Yeah. So there's a lot of words that I'm talking. Bach does all of these, he says all of this, does all of this guiding with the notes, with the music. And it's much better than somebody sitting here trying to explain it. Mm-hmm. So, and your job then is to do that explaining with the music. Now, could you go from where I started, the beginning of the second line?
Yes.
All right, and work through this and really show us when we get to the home section again, and then carry on to the end. Okay. Okay, good. Right, now you're showing me much more of the music. He could actually stop there.
Right, okay.
But he carries the music on. That's the perfect cadence. Okay, so you've got all of this movement. So imagine that you're dancing and you've got partners and you hand upon on to the next person. And you're doing all of these movements. Could you play from the same passage? And go to the end. Yeah, that's right. So you can actually say, and now here is the real end. Okay. So it's not just da da dum da da dum 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 dee 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 da da dee dee da da 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 dee. Yeah, that's really boring. Yeah, so try to go for much more movement. Just listen to this one thing. Listen carefully to the beginning of the third line this time. Okay, I'm going to play from the second line again. It doesn't go da 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 dum.
Okay, okay.
There's much more shape in there. So ba da da dee be da da bom. We don't want to go ba da da on those notes. Okay. Let's do that again, because this is developing really well. All right, so I'm not quite sure that you understand which notes belong to each other on the third line. The D at the end of the first bar doesn't belong to the rest of that bar. Those are the notes that musically belong together. I know what we see is those two notes beamed together. Yeah, okay. Right, well played. Okay.